Hey, if you guys enjoyed that movie, make sure to go rent that Move Out video when it comes out on DVD. It comes out August.
Nah, I'm good.
Why does this have to be so difficult? Let me see how the social media posts have been doing. There's gotta be another way I can promote his store. I'll find a way.
I was only 9 years old. I loved Shrek so much, I had all the merchandise and movies. I praised Shrek every night before bed. Shrek is love, I say. Shrek is life. My dad hears me and calls me. How you doing, guys? Welcome to episode 4, season 2, episode 4, Cinemore Reviews. I'm here with Matthew, like always.
Hello, everyone. And yeah, this is going to be the season 2 finale. So, in this episode, we're going to be talking about nostalgic movies,
Yeah,
just movies we grew up watching.
grew up watching, and I guess, since I'm holding it right now, you want to talk about the one and only Shrek?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about the one and only Shrek. Right, my cat, my cat has to make a cameo. Give me 1 second. Can you start off? I gotta
Yeah.
take him
All right.
outside.
So Shrek is an interesting movie. I'll say that at least because as a movie for kids, it's so weird these days because I see like parents showing Shrek to the like young kids, like 3-year-olds and all that, saying, "Oh yeah, this was the movie growing up." And don't get me wrong, I watched Shrek when I was a kid too, because obviously it's a nostalgic movie. But dang, looking back at Shrek as an adult, there was a lot of jokes in this movie, a lot of adult jokes that were just out there, like Farquaad getting a boner, or
Yeah,
or when they're looking at Farquaad's tower, they're like, "Do you think he's compensating for something?" Like, there's a lot of dick jokes in this movie.
yeah, and also Shrek. They do cuss in the movie a little bit. Shrek says he has to save his ass and
Well, I have to save my ass.
Yeah, and Donkey
something like
says like
that.
he says like cake is like the best thing on the damn planet and
Parfaits may be the most delicious thing on the whole damn planet. You know,
stuff like that.
Yeah. So I mean, what I like about some of the animated movies we grew up with, like it's not just for kids; it was for everybody. Like you could be like 50 years old and still enjoy, Shrek. Like it's a great movie, and I remember watching this with my family. Like even my uncle, who's like, well, he's 70 now, but at the time when this came out, he was in his 50s. He really likes this movie.
Yeah, I
It's
mean my
really
parents like it too.
funny.
And I mean they got a good voice cast for this movie. You had Mike Myers as Shrek, you had Eddie Murphy as Donkey, and you had Cameron Diaz as Fiona. I mean honestly that's a pretty good cast of character
Oh yeah.
actors.
Now, originally, Shrek was actually going to be voiced by Chris Farley. When Shrek was in like early production in the '90s, Chris Farley, he actually finished, I think, 80% of his voice lines,
Yeah,
but
it
he
was like
ended up.
86 or 85% of his dialogue, but then he died from an overdose.
Yeah, and some of the footage for the early Shrek movie, which was completely different from what we got in 2001, it actually got released on YouTube last year, I think. And dude, watching that footage, just like looking into like another like dimension, like this is what Shrek could have been if Chris Farley would have it would have stayed alive, you
And
know?
that's the funny thing about Shrek too, because Shrek was DreamWorks' first like CGI animated feature. Now, actually, when Shrek was originally in development, DreamWorks actually treated it as a joke. Like they treated it as like, okay, this is just a movie we have to make fun of Disney, right? Because if you've seen Shrek, obviously there's a lot of jokes jabbing at Disney and all that. I mean, even Lord Farquaad was a parody of Disney's CEO at the time, so that's how much like anti-Disney this movie was. So a lot of DreamWorks Studios kind of just treated this as a joke and focused on bigger movies like The Prince of Egypt or Spirit, which obviously they took more seriously. Which I mean, watch those movies too; they're really good. But when Shrek came out, it became a big hit, and they're like, it became a big hit. So it's like think we got a money guy on us now. But who knows? Like if Chris Farley would have finished his lines before dying, do you even think they would still release the movie even after he died?
I mean, we'll never know. But yeah, I agree with you. Like this movie was originally just a spoof on Disney. That's kind of all it was. But I mean, the makers behind this movie, they made it too good. And also, this was actually nominated for an Oscar, the best animated feature of
The first
2002.
one.
But but Spirited Away won the Oscar. Which, to be fair, Spirited Away was a much better film. Spirited Away
Spirited
was
Away was
awesome.
later. Actually, for 2000. Wait, was it Spirited Away? Let me look. Hold on.
Yeah, I think it was.
No, that's wrong.
Anyway, no, I mean, you gotta just acknowledge, like, even though Shrek was pretty much just a locale for DreamWorks, comedy in this movie, surprisingly, even though it's pretty much just like a jab at Disney, the comedy works in this movie surprisingly well. Because for starters, it's just funny. It's actually just a funny movie.
Yeah, and now it has a cult following thanks to the internet, with all the Shrek memes, and there's literally like whole Shrek festivals now, which is
Like
just
this
it's
is like a so much like I wouldn't even call this like a millennial or Gen Z movie. I feel like it's kind of a movie I hear all generations talk about, honestly.
yeah, it's sort of like kind of like a Beatles kind of thing where every generation listens to it, and yeah, so every generation watches this movie, it's something that can appeal to everybody.
Yeah, but then unfortunately after this movie came out, like we did get some good stuff afterwards. Like Shrek 2 I actually think is better than the first Shrek movie, which I should have, had that. I do have a copy of Shrek 2 as well. But unfortunately after Shrek 2, then they kind of started to be more kind of kid friendly, like Shrek the Third and all that. They kind of started to lose that edge, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that usually happens, but they got the edge back once they did Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which was
Oh,
damn, that was good.
fantastic movie. I don't know about Shrek 5
Oh
though.
yeah,
I honestly don't know how
oh
that's gonna
yeah.
be.
We won't know, but yeah, but I don't have a copy of Shrek 2 because I don't think Shrek 2 was released on
Oh,
VHS.
it
All I
was.
got is
It was the
VHS.
last DreamWorks movie on VHS. I
Um,
used to have it actually, but
yeah, I don't think I got it in the video store at the moment,
I
unfortunately.
do love the
Yeah.
first Shrek
Yep.
movie, so I think it still holds up. And surprisingly, the animation for being like a 23-year-old movie, the animation actually holds up pretty well for most of those animated movies at the time.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Now in the 2000s, CGI wasn't really that great, but yeah, I would say this like for Shrek, it holds up very well. Even for Toy Story, which was the first fully CGI animated movie, it still holds up pretty well.
Yeah, which that's another one. I would have brought that one too, but I was kind of on the bridge between should I talk about Shrek or Toy. So I decided to just talk about Shrek because Shrek is like
Yeah,
Shrek
I
for
like.
life.
Yeah, and also like, what can we really say about Toy Story that hasn't already
Hasn't been
been
said.
said?
It's like everyone knows like how groundbreaking it was for the 90s.
I mean, the one thing we will say is the guy who plays Ernest,
Plays
what
Slinky,
was his name?
the dog.
Yeah,
Slinky
he
the
plays
dog.
Blinky.
Yeah.
What was Jim Varney? That's
Jim
his name, right?
Varney.
Jim Varney. I should know this because we're like mega fans of like Ernest.
I love
Ernest is
Ernest.
awesome.
I watch
Every year we watch Ernest Saves Christmas.
Ernest
In
Saves
my
Christmas
household.
and Ernest Scared Stupid is like those
Oh
two
yeah.
movies for me. But no, I like Shrek. Like I said, I think the voice cast is great. The jokes surprisingly are good, and also Smash Mouth as well. We can't forget about Smash
Oh
Mouth.
yeah, Smash Mouth, like All Stars, which plays in the beginning
Opening.
and end of
That
Shrek.
hey
Yeah,
now you're and also I'm a believer at the end of the movie is great.
yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that became like a huge meme.
And
Like
now
whenever I hear that song, I think of
speaking
Shrek.
of while on the topic of like animated films, this is probably honestly my most as a kid, this was actually my favorite movie as a kid. SpongeBob movie from 2004, which actually is turning 20 years old this year.
I have a copy of the SpongeBob movie as well on VHS. Got a copy of it.
Now
Yeah,
this movie, I love this movie, dude. It still holds up well.
it does. It holds up very well. It's honestly the best SpongeBob movie right
It is.
now. Yeah, there hasn't been any like good SpongeBob movies in the past like 20
Yeah, and
years.
honestly, it's my favorite Nickelodeon movie, probably, period, honestly. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
to this day, people are still quoting this movie, like, to this day. Kind of like how Shrek had a culture, this movie kind of did too. I mean, when I graduated high school, I mean, people were yelling, like, now that we're men, we are invincible. Like, this movie just had such an impact on millennials and Gen Z. Like, it's crazy how much impact this movie left on people.
The whole like goofy goober phrase, like people are still using that till this day. One thing I want to mention, now you see when this movie came out, I was literally like just 1 years old, but I do know somebody that went to go see it in the theater when it was still new. My sister, who was born in '98, she actually went to go see the movie in the theater when it came out in 2004, and she told me all about it. She told me how she remembers like the whole place was SpongeBob themed because SpongeBob was in its prime during this time.
I mean, that's when
Yeah,
season 3
yeah.
just finished, and it's like it was huge.
Oh yeah, like the theater was full on SpongeBob theme. She told me the theater was like yellow and everything. It was
I remember
SpongeBob.
my older brother. He was born in 1999. You remember in that same month he saw two movies back to back. He saw The Incredibles that year because that came out that same month, and then he saw the SpongeBob movie. The theater was just packed because you had these two movies that were just making bank off each other. Like, they were
Yeah,
he said they were
honestly,
kind of like competing with each other.
yeah, the 2000s, honestly, like the early 2000s was a great like time for animated movies.
I mean, 2004 might be actually one of the best years for movies, period. I mean, you had Spider-Man 2 in 2004, you had Shrek 2 in 2004, you had The Incredibles in 2004, and then you had the SpongeBob movie. And I mean, would you know it? That's the year I was born, was 2004.
Mm.
And it's just
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of crazy. And I think this movie, it's not my favorite movie anymore, but I would still probably have it somewhere in the top 10. I mean, it's definitely my most nostalgic movie, absolutely.
Yeah, now I actually never watched it on VHS when I was a kid, but I did watch it on DVD, and I still have one of the original DVD copies of this movie. Yeah, like I remember seeing it, on DVD a lot. And I remember, like, I loved the movie so much. Like, I would watch all the special features. I'll watch the movie over and over again. And
It,
I think my favorite part of the movie is when SpongeBob, like, out of fucking nowhere, just starts like rocking out and doing like well, not really a cover, but like a parody of a Twisted Swiss Sister song. Goofy Goober rock. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, that was cringe,
I have a
but
funny
yeah.
story actually about my SpongeBob DVD because that's how I watched it growing up. This Blu-ray I have of the movie I actually just bought last year because I have the DVD growing up. I still have it, like it's somewhere in my collection. But I played that movie so much growing up that the DVD just stopped working. Like the disc just doesn't
Oh my
even work
god.
anymore.
Wait, it still doesn't work to this day?
It still turns on, but it's so scratched and all that that it hardly even plays. So I said, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and buy a Blu-ray of this movie because it was so scratched out of all the times I would play the shit out of that movie.
Does the Blu-ray still have all the special features?
I don't know. I haven't let's see. Yeah, it's actually surprisingly actually does have all the special features.
Mm,
They actually
okay.
remastered them in HD, which is kind of cool.
Okay, one thing I've been seeing on YouTube and Instagram recently is this movie's actually being reshown in theaters. And when I saw some of the videos from like the premieres of the movie, like people were going nuts over it. You know how like in like Rocky Horror Picture Show screenings, people would like go nuts, go crazy, and just have fun in the theater with a crazy movie. They were doing the same thing with the SpongeBob movie. So I'm just hoping, just like Shrek. I mean, well, the SpongeBob movie, it pretty much has a cult following already.
I
So
mean, it's
hopefully
such
this
a
can,
millennial
yeah,
and Gen Z movie. Like everyone knows it.
yeah, Yeah. So hopefully this can. I mean, this movie can be like reshown in theaters all the time, and it can be it's not necessarily like a Rocky Horror Picture Show thing per se, but more like a sort of like I don't know, kind of like a tradition is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I'm
It'd be
looking
like
it
a
up right
tradition.
now. Next week, it's actually November 19th will be it'll be the 20th anniversary of this movie. That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, 20 years ago this came out. That is
A lot of
crazy.
movies are turning 20. I mean, tomorrow, actually, by the time we're filming this, The Incredibles is turning 20 years old, which that's insane to
Oh
me,
man.
too. That came out November 4th of 2004.
Yeah, I actually rewatched The Incredibles a few years back, I think in 2021 or 2022. Honestly, I like it more as an adult,
I do
honestly,
too,
because
because
you
like when
relate
you
with
you relate
characters.
so much to Bob when you get older. Because as a kid, I just liked it for being like a fun superhero movie, but now when I'm older, I just like it because it's actually kind of a deep movie when you think about it. That superheroes were treated as like criminals and all that. It's like, if we're a superhero, they're the reason why everyone's being killed and all that, even though they're just trying to help people. Like that one guy who like tried to commit suicide, like jumping off the building. When like when Mr. Incredible saved him, he said, "Oh, I was just trying to kill myself, dude. You had to hurt me like that."
Yeah, there's some adult jokes in there, kind of, and also the part where like Elastigirl or whatever her name is gets like stuck in the door. Yeah.
Also the mirror too. We can't forget about the mirror when she's looking in the
Uh,
mirror. When she's like
oh
looking at
yeah.
her, she's looking at her ass in the mirror.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway,
Yeah, and the two. Yeah, they would never do that now. They'll never make those kind of
no.
jokes now.
But
Kids
no,
movie.
anyway, getting back to the SpongeBob movie, I honestly, I was so honestly on the 20th anniversary, I might just deck out my room and watch this movie again because it's still a classic.
Oh yeah, definitely. Dude, what the fuck? Like, dude, what the fuck? Okay, I'm sorry, but we're calling the SpongeBob movie a movie that came out in 2004 a classic.
It's 20 years old, dude. It's turning 20,
No, no, my
bro.
God,
We were calling
no,
when
dude,
Back
what
to the
the
Future,
fuck?
when Back to the Future turned to
What the
20,
fuck?
when
That
Back to
just
the
hit me so hard.
when Back to the
What?
Future turned 20, we were calling this a classic when it turned 20. Now this movie is turning 20. This movie's almost 40. And this movie's
Oh,
what the fuck?
okay. I can deal with this turn 40, but this turn 20, no. No, I remember just 5 years ago, I was celebrating the 15th anniversary of this when it was
Bro, I
still
remember I was
fairly
celebrating
new.
the 10-year anniversary of this movie.
Yeah, dude, it's like, oh my God, dude, that hit me so hard. What the hell?
Oh my
Oh,
gosh, dude.
Lord.
The country needs SpongeBob SquarePants. I'm
Yeah,
actually gonna go watch this movie probably after this review is done because I fucking love this movie, bro.
yeah, PG for some mild, crude humor. Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you guys. If there's any like SpongeBob fans watching this, I'm a Sponge boomer. I do not watch any of the new SpongeBob episodes. I don't give a shit.
No.
I don't care. I watched the first 3 seasons in the movie. That's all I
Well,
watch.
actually, speaking of
I don't.
SpongeBob, I'll be right back. Give me one sec.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm a big Sponge boomer. I don't watch new SpongeBob. A lot of it's just like it's just hit or miss. I'm not trying to say oh new SpongeBob's bad. Like there's good episodes, but it's like it's hit or miss. All right, while he's gone, I guess I can talk a little bit more about the SpongeBob movie. But this is definitely one of my favorite animated movies growing up. Okay. Oh, yo, it's Sponge. Bro, it's Super SpongeBob Mario. Let's go.
Oh, hi.
He's made his return, Super SpongeBob
What's
Mario.
up? Yeah, I gotta talk about like the greatest movie ever made, like the SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
Yo, Sponge, where'd you go? Is Super SpongeBob Mario coming back? Is that ever coming
Um,
back?
Canonically, I killed myself, so I don't know if I am or not.
Wait, are we? Is this like a ghost we're looking at right now?
Yeah, I'm a ghost. I was just meeting up with my boy
Oh
Jeffrey.
shit, dude, I want to fucking kill myself.
Anyway, no, the SpongeBob movie, it's a classic, man. I love it.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's an awesome movie. Yeah, yeah, but still, it's crazy that now we're calling this shit a
A
classic.
classic.
That is unbelievable, dude. I feel fucking old. What the fuck,
I guess
dude?
speaking of
What? No.
classics, uh, I kind of just brought it up. Let's talk about now this one. Now this movie, this one I didn't get into a little later. Now the SpongeBob movie and Shrek I was watching when I was a kid. I think I got into Back to the Future around the time I was like 10 years old or something, and I still say it holds up really well. I mean, everyone. I mean, what's not to say about Back to the Future that hasn't already been said already? You know?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was definitely one of Steven Spielberg's like best movies. Like as a kid, I loved this movie. Like, I remember when I was a little kid, my family would put this on all the time. I remember in the 2010s, I had a VHS copy of this, and I would watch it all the time. It is a damn good movie. I
Yeah, I
love
remember
Back
when
to
I
the
was a
Future.
kid, it was
Yeah.
like, it was kind of like one of my introductions to time travel. So as a kid, I was just blown away by it. I was like, there's movies about them going back in time and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And I still remember in 2015, me and my family watched this movie and talked about, what they got right and what they got wrong
oh,
in
well, Back to the Future
2015.
Part 2.
Yeah, and Back to the Future Part 2, which I also have on VHS. I have the trilogy on VHS. And
Yep,
you want to see something cool?
there's Part 2 right
Yeah, yeah.
there. Yeah.
You want to see something really cool?
What?
Uh, for the third VHS tape, I think this is, hold on, it might be the second one. Here we go, here we go. Check this out. So when I bought these tapes from the Goodwill, I got the whole trilogy on tape. Check this out. There's like an old ad where you can buy like the Back to the Future merchandise. Let's look at the prices for this. You can buy the VHS tape. Let's see here. When was this? 1991. There's an ad from 1991 saying you can buy the VHS tape for 1995. You can buy the whole trilogy for let's see here, pretty much like $40, the whole trilogy. And Secret from the Back to the Future. And you can also go on the Universal ride. You just gotta put in your name, put in your address and shit, and you can win. So
Yeah, that
yeah,
ride, and that ride's been gone for almost 20 years. I remember when
yeah.
the Universal ride shut down.
Oh dang. Why did it shut down?
Oh, they were just moving. They were kind of just ready to open new rides. I think I replaced by like the Simpsons ride. I'm pretty sure. But
Oh, okay. Yeah, and
if you have the Blu-ray like I do, you can actually still watch the the Back to the Future ride because someone archived the footage, so it's still available to see.
yeah. Oh, and also, I actually saw this movie in the theater in 2020 when they opened up the local movie theater in my town again, and it was so cool seeing this, classic on the big screen.
Yeah,
And
like I like
still,
all three of them too. I think they're all good.
it's crazy that next year this is going to be turned 40 years old.
40, I know, right? Who knows, like, all them Back to the Future stuff that people are going to be selling? Like, because I know people that still have movie props existing to this day. Like, someone has, like, the sports almanac from Back to the Future 2, and I think he's
Hmm.
selling it for, like, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah. Do you think we'll ever get like a Back to the Future 4, or do you think they're
No,
not going to
I don't think they will. Unless they got that desperate, I don't think they will. Because 3 just ended off so well. I think the most we got to a Back to the Future 4 was like that Telltale game from like a couple of years ago. I don't know. Do you
Yeah,
remember Back to
the
the
video.
Future game?
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah. But I think all 3 of them are good. The third one is probably my least favorite one of the bunch. But I mean, it's still a good movie.
Hmm.
I think Back to the
Yeah. Now,
Future 1 is still the best one.
do you think we'll ever get a Back to the Future remake? Do you think Hollywood would
Oh,
get that desperate?
it would be so hard because it's like you can't use a DeLorean. Because if you did a remake, here's the thing: if you did a remake, you can't really use a DeLorean because the DeLorean was an '80s car. That's why Doc Brown made it '80s, right? So you would have to replace it with something more modern. But if you did that, you would kind of take it away. Because think about it. I mean, when you think of DeLorean, what do you think of? Back to the Future, right?
Well, I think if they're going to do a remake, they'll have to do it in a way that it takes place in the present and the past would be like more recent, you know? Yeah, like I remember someone said like if Back to the Future was made today, Marty will go back to like the 1990s and he'll have to sing like a Nirvana song.
Yeah, that's probably what they would have to do. But I don't know if they would use the DeLorean though. But I feel like if you took away the DeLorean, that would kind of, you know, ruin the magic. Also, who would they even have him play? Like, would they have, I don't know, Tom Holland play Marty McFly, which I don't want that. I would hate it if Tom Holland played Marty. That'd be so dumb.
Yeah, if they're ever gonna like remake it in some way, I wouldn't even call it Back to the Future, honestly.
Like you can make just make a different time traveling movie by that point.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I don't
just
think
make a
they
different.
will, because even Spielberg has says he's not open to like directing one himself. If they did, they'd probably have someone else direct it, honestly.
Hmm.
But no, I think all of them are pretty good. And honestly, I was just watching Back to the Future a couple weeks ago because October 21st is when they go to the future in 2015, which actually
Yeah,
2015 is gonna be 10 years ago by next year. Holy fucking shit, it's gonna be 10 years ago.
dude,
But
I remember 2015. What the fuck, dude?
when they were like saying that we were gonna have hoverboards in 2015, we were gonna have like you can make Pizza Hut at home and all that. It's like
I mean, we kind of can, with frozen pizza, but that's always been a thing since the 80s.
no, but you saw in the movie where they had like a tiny little
Yeah,
pizza and it's
yeah,
like
oh yeah,
and it's just
right,
really
right,
huge.
yeah.
No, dude.
Now we do have hoverboards, like actual real hoverboards, not those weird like douchey boards from the 2010s. But the thing is, it can only like hover on certain
Surfaces.
surfaces. Yeah, I can only hover on certain surfaces, kind of like a magnet. But yeah, we don't have hoverboards. We don't have well, I mean, we do have like, those big TVs where you could do like video calls and shit like that. So they got that right. We can do like, video calls and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
but I still love Back to the Future. I think all three of them hold up well. Honestly, I might even watch them next year when it's
So yeah,
19. That's crazy. It's turning 40, bro. Holy shit.
40 years ago. That is nuts. That is so
I'll
nuts.
definitely watch them again.
Honestly, 2015 was definitely a perfect time for if they were ever going to make a Back to the Future sequel, like another sequel. 2015 was definitely the perfect time, but they kind of missed their chance. But
Yeah.
maybe that's for the best.
Yeah,
Just
'cause, I mean,
celebrate the 30th.
three ended off so well. Because the thing is, something I liked about Back to the Future 3 is that when Marty was about like how in the future Marty broke his hand. That's why
Yeah,
he cannot do that. Remember, he broke his hand because he was trying to race that guy after him eating that
yeah, and
chicken.
then
Well, I like the line
yeah.
that Doc says is that like the future hasn't been made yet. The future is whatever you make it, so make it a good one. And I feel like that's just a way you should just end off the series like that. I think the way
Okay.
Doc Brown, had Clara and then his kids and all that. It's like honestly, I don't think they should ever make another one. And unfortunately, I don't think Mike also what's his name? Christopher Lloyd, he's old now too. He's really
Yeah,
old.
yeah.
And
Also,
Michael J.
also
Fox
Michael
has
J. Fox.
Parkinson's disease too.
Yeah, so like a sequel starring them is just not going to happen anytime soon. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's had Parkinson's disease for a long time now. He's had it since like the
Yeah,
90s.
yeah. Yeah, even in 2015, that a sequel is just not possible.
No, but I think we should all still appreciate that it's been almost 40 years and people are still talking about and watching this movie.
Oh yeah, and also Christopher Lloyd and Michael J. Fox, they're still alive.
They're still alive, yeah. They're still. I mean, in 2015 they did I think it was like an SNL sketch talking about it and all that.
Oh yeah. And also we can't forget that Back to the Future, that's the movie that inspired a certain famous series from the 2010s. I think you guys know what we're
We know who
talking
it is.
about.
I think it had like a pickle
Yeah.
in it or something.
Oh yeah, I think it had like a pickle. I don't
And
know. I
it
think
kind
it
of like
also had
made
like
McDonald's like go into a riot one day or something. Like, there was a
yeah.
riot going on at McDonald's with like this guy lifted up his T-shirt and having like a seizure at McDonald's.
And he was calling himself Pickle something. I don't
He was like
know.
saying, "I want my Szechuan sauce" or something.
What is Szechuan sauce? What is that?
I don't know what Szechuan sauce is. It was like this
What is that?
sauce or something.
That's weird.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. Back to the Future.
Great movie.
Great movie. Okay, so what's the next one we're talking about?
I think we need to talk about another Spielberg movie, the Jurassic Park movie,
All right,
specifically the
that's the
first
part.
one, because the first one is the best one. It's the best one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Now here's something very interesting about Jurassic Park, and this is something I was watching like one of like Math Dominus, analysis video on Jurassic Park. Here's something really interesting he said about the dinosaurs. The dinosaurs in this movie, they're not actually like legit prehistoric dinosaurs. What they are is genetic hybrids. That's what they are.
They
You
are.
know, because dinosaurs, like historically, they didn't look like this. They didn't look like that. You
They
know,
were like
because
they
I
were like
yeah.
birds.
Oh
From
yeah, they were like birds, but yeah, but since they use the DNA of a frog, they end up making these like, mutants basically,
it's kind of
They're
like
not real
Godzilla when
dinosaurs.
you think about it. It's not really a dinosaur. It's kind of like a mutant or something.
Yeah,
It's
it's a monster, This guy, this old man who wanted to bring back dinosaurs to study, he ended up just making a bunch of mutants that only kind of resemble dinosaurs.
And I think that's the
But
genius behind
yeah.
this movie, that it's not really trying to say that, oh, back in the day, dinosaurs were like reptiles. No, it's like, they were full on mutants, and that's what made it cool to me.
But yeah, but when this movie came out, like in the early 90s, dinosaurs were like booming. I think even before this movie came out, there was all sorts of like, dinosaur shows,
The Mario
even
movie
some
from 93.
yeah, the Mario movie, which came out like
93.
I think a month before. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
which came out like a month before this movie, I think, or a few days before. Yeah, when this movie came out, this made people forget about like the Mario movie. But yeah, like I said, in the early 90s, people were going crazy over dinosaurs. Also, before this movie came out, Roger Corman actually made his own dinosaur movie, and Roger Corman is known for making all sorts of like B movies. The dude made like hundreds upon hundreds of films, without spending a single fucking dime.
And
Yeah,
also, I
but
love the effects of Jurassic Park. Like, the effects, even though it's like a 31-plus-year-old movie, the effects still look. I mean, you could definitely tell it's a 90s movie, but it still looks great looking at it.
oh yeah, definitely. And it wasn't just CGI; it was also practical effects.
It was. That's what I loved about it. Like, it had CGI in there, but there was so much practical effects to it. That's why it's just. Honestly, it's in my top 15 favorite movies of all time. I love the first Jurassic Park movie.
Oh yeah, it's definitely one of those what Quentin Tarantino would consider a perfect movie. It's definitely one of those.
It is. It's iconic. Like when you hear that music in the park, it's awesome. Now, unfortunately, unlike Back to the Future, where I like the trilogy, I feel like Jurassic Park kind of fell off as the movies went on. Like, don't get me wrong, I think Jurassic Park 2, which is like the last, I think this movie's overhated. I kind of like it myself personally. But once we started getting to like Jurassic Park 3 and all that, it's just like it wasn't very good, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. Do you think it got a little better once Jurassic World, once that series came to be?
Jurassic World, let me get to that one. Jurassic World's a complicated one because I like the first Jurassic World with Chris Pratt, but once we got to like Fallen Kingdom and like that new one that came out, honestly, I think they kind of just went downhill.
I did like Fallen Kingdom. Do you want to hear something really funny about Fallen Kingdom?
What?
I remember where there's this one scene. You know that one scene where the old man tells the guy, "Hey, pick up the phone."
Yeah.
Like right before he said that, it's like some dude's phone in the theater was going off, making a noise, and that guy ended up. And when the guy said, "Pick up that phone," everybody was fucking laughing.
That's
Like it was the perfect time. It was
That's a
perfect
great.
timing.
No, I didn't care for Fallen Kingdom, but it was whatever. Now the third one, which is Dominant, I think it was called. I didn't like that movie, honestly. The one from
Hmm.
2022. I don't know your thoughts on it. I didn't think it was really that very good.
I checked it out. It wasn't really that great.
Yeah, no, Jurassic World movies, I'm kind of mixed on them, but the first one is still the best one, though. The first one's awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, I think we can say that Jurassic Park, it's still a classic even after like 31 years. I remember I actually celebrated the 30th anniversary on Instagram, once
I
it
remember
came
that.
around.
I guess because we've kind of been on a Spielberg thing. I guess we talked about it in the horror movie review a little bit, but we got to talk about. I don't know if you can see it, but that movie, not Rocky, the post I
Yeah.
have right next to it, Jaws,
Jaws. Yeah, also
classic,
I also have a poster of Jaws right there, which is my mom's favorite movie of all time.
classic. It is a classic. We kind of talked about it in the
Yeah.
horror movie review, so I'll be brief, but it's still crazy, like how terrified people were of that movie back in 1975 which holy shit, that movie's turning 50 next year.
Yeah, it's
Holy
turning 50.
shit.
That's
Keep
crazy.
going though. I wish you go talk about Jaws for a little bit.
Yeah, but Jaws, now I remember watching this with my mom, back in the day. I remember I was kind of scared of it, but when I watched it, I was like, wow, this is amazing, you know? And kind of like what Taylor said, not many like aquatic, like horror movies, are taken as seriously as Jaws. And also when Steven Spielberg was making this movie, he was kind of just making a B movie. He wasn't really expecting this movie to be literally literally an Oscar winning film, like the United States like first blockbuster. He was not expecting that. He was just making a B movie, but he made it way too good. Now, the movie still holds up till this day, but the parts where you see the shark, I will say this: the parts where you see the shark animatronic is a little dated, but still, you know, if you can like move past that, you can have lots of fun with this movie. This movie, I watch it like pretty much every summer. I watch Jaws. It
It's
is
the perfect
such a great
summer
movie.
movie. That's what I love about
Yeah.
it. Because what I love about Jaws is the suspense for Jaws is still like perfect. Like the part like Taylor talked about in the last review, but when the dead guy like pops up at you, it still gets me to this very day, even though I know it's coming.
Oh yeah, yeah. Even the beginning scene where you see the naked chick right here die, that's still pretty fucked up. But yeah, and this is one of the big reasons why there's a lot of people now who are scared to go into the ocean because they
I
think
know
they'll
my
get
my
eaten up
sister
by.
used to be scared of sharks because of that movie. She's not anymore, but
Yeah.
it's like I think that movie developed a phobia for sharks for some people.
Yeah, and also after like I think 30 years after this movie in the 2000s, you remember in the 2000s there was just like a big boom in like shitty aquatic horror movies, like shitty shark movies, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, it's like we got like Sharknado, we got like Shark Zone, we even got like Ghost Shark. Like it's fucking crazy how many crappy shark movies we got over the years.
I know. No,
Uh,
no, no, no. You know what the best shark movie of the 2000s is? This is
what?
my favorite shark movie of the 2000s. Hold on.
Wait,
Here we
hold
go.
up. Shark Tale.
Have you
Oh
seen
my.
with Will Smith fish?
Yeah, yeah. I've seen it.
It's bad.
Shark Tale. What wasn't Jack Black in that
Yeah, he
movie? Oh
played the shark in the movie, and Robert De Niro like played his dad or something.
my
Is
god.
is a fucking 2000s movie. Like you have a movie where Will Smith plays a fish, Jack Black and Robert De Niro play sharks. It's such a 2000s movie.
Oh
And who
yeah,
knows
and
that
they
was
had
made by the same producers who made this.
yeah, yeah, the 2000s, that was a big decade for just aquatic like media in general because we have SpongeBob, Finding Nemo,
Oh.
and Shark Tale. It's like the 2000s was obsessed with like aquatic stuff and also all those like teen surfing summer movies we got during that time. Can't
That's
forget
probably why
those.
little kid me was so obsessed with aquatics, because those are all the movies I saw growing up was just nothing but aquatic shit.
Yeah, yeah. Also, I still remember those like teen mermaid fucking movies that my
Oh,
sisters would put on
H2O
all the
or
time.
whatever like mermaid show that was.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, I still
Dolphin
yeah.
Tale, which actually that movie's good. Like that's joking
Oh
aside,
yeah.
that's actually a good movie. It's like that one's based on a true story, but
O- Okay, this isn't a 2000s one, but oh, this is something I should mention. Another really like big nostalgic movie for me is Free Willy, you know, where they have to free like the what's it called? Fuck, okay, it's orca. They have to free the
Orca,
orca, which
yeah.
dangerous to a shark.
Okay, you're gonna embarrass. I'm kind of embarrassed to say this one. You know a movie that is surprisingly super nostalgic for me?
But
It was one of the first movies I saw in the theaters. It goes by the name Alvin and the Chipmunks.
oh my god, yeah, I
Because
remember the Alvin and the Chipmunks movie as well. Yeah.
those movies, I watched them like last year. I was just dying of laughter. It's like I fucking liked these when I was a kid. Like this guy like David Cross is playing like Ian Hawke and shit. You have Jason Lee as Dave. It's so fucking stupid.
I'm sorry, but even as a kid, I thought those movies were kind of strange.
Oh, also, there's so many memes on it, like the P Diddy memes recently.
Oh no! What the fuck?
Oh, man. I didn't realize how boring it is to be on this side of the glass.
Yeah, why aren't you guys in there? I thought you were like super famous or something.
One day, you're throwing back pink lemonades on Diddy's yacht in San Tropez.
Anyway, any shitty movies you grew up with?
Any shitty movies? I can't think of any off the top of my head. I'm trying to think here. Now I've seen a lot of like shitty movies as a kid. Like there were some like crappy movies I liked as a kid, but then over time I realized, man, why the fuck did I like this? Because like as a kid, I used to watch all sorts of like obscure like family movies you'll only see on like television every now and then. Like this one movie about like some dude who turns into like a mermaid or something. Also, I remember watching this one movie about like these two guys who I don't know, like the circus comes in town. They end up becoming friends with like a really fat guy. I still remember that movie. I remember watching it on one of those like double feature DVDs. Another genre I remember me and my family was obsessed with was Bigfoot movies. Remember when Bigfoot was like
It was,
all
like,
the talk back in
everywhere.
2000? Yeah, I remember like finding Bigfoot and stuff like that. I genuinely believe for a while Bigfoot could be out there, somewhere like Sasquatches.
Or
I
like those
remember this
shitty
one
like Christmas
movie,
kids movies. That was
yeah.
like another one.
Oh
That was a
yeah,
thing too. Like all
yeah.
those like shitty straight to VHS like Christmas movies you would find in like a Walmart bargain bin.
Yeah, I know. But about the Bigfoot movies, I remember I saw these two like Bigfoot movies on like the double feature DVDs. There's one movie where like the government tries to capture Bigfoot, but the kids end up taking him to like a forest. And another one where they tried to take this like little Bigfoot monster or whatever back to like his mom. Yeah, I can't remember what the names were to those two movies, but
There's
you
so
know.
many movies I watched as a kid that I guarantee you I would watch now and be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I still remember like in the one movie where the little Bigfoot has to go back to his mom. I remember they were talking to some Indian dude who was about to fucking kill it and be like, "No, you got to protect them or something." That's one
I
thing
might
I
need to
remember
find that
from that
movie. I might.
movie.
It's probably on Tubi or something obscure.
Probably it's probably on Tubi.
'Cause all
I've
those
seen a
obscure
lot of
movies are
like
on Tubi.
movies. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a lot of like obscure, movies on DVD, like the kind of movies you'll find in the bargain bin.
Which rest in peace
Of
to
the
the Walmart bargain bin. That guy was my homie.
Yeah. I went to the Walmart bargain bin like recently, like the $5 bargain bin. It's fucking gone.
It's
There's
gone.
barely any. Yeah, it's just done.
Well, yeah, I
It's
looked
just
it up.
complete.
It's discontinued. Like all the Walmart, because I go to 3 Walmarts. I have one Walmart in my home state of Michigan. I went to gone. Went to the one in my home in my at my house in Texas. Gone. Then I went to the one near like by my school. Gone. It's like every Walmart doesn't have them anymore. And I'm like, I'm sad.
Yeah. Now, one memory I have as a kid when it comes to the Walmart bargain bin, I remember like I see around the 2010s, I was getting really into Godzilla, and also speaking of Godzilla, I will be talking about Godzilla very briefly in this review because Godzilla's very nostalgic for me, But anyways, I remember I saw like the little posters they'll put on the bargain bin, to let people know, hey, we have this movie here.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw the poster for Godzilla 2000, I was digging through that fucking thing trying to look for the DVD for Godzilla 2000 because I was like, I need that movie. I fucking need it, and I couldn't find it.
Yeah,
I
no,
could not find
the
that.
bargain bin is discontinued. That's so sad, bro.
Yeah, but I did end up getting the Godzilla Blu-rays that they were selling in 2014, the Godzilla Blu-rays. I still remember getting the Godzilla Final Wars Blu-ray, and I was so excited to watch it. But then I watched it, I was like, oh, it's actually kind of
mid.
cheesy. Well, it's not okay. It's just it's Godzilla on crack. Godzilla Final Wars.
Basically.
It's just Godzilla on crack. That's what it is.
Like, dude, look at this bargain bin, man. This was my childhood right here.
Yeah. I actually have a picture of I think I sent it to you a while back. A picture of an empty bargain bin. I'll see if I have it on my computer, but yeah, the Walmart bargain bin. Oh man, like, you know, I understand that not everything lasts forever, and that's perfectly fine. Like, here's the thing: I used to be one of those people that would be like, no, this needs to stay the same forever. But I can understand, much like with video stores, sometimes things just have to change. Like the way people watch movies nowadays is completely different from how we watched it 10 years ago. But yeah, it's just not everything lasts forever. It's kind of sad seeing a part of our childhood go, but
Yeah.
it's just it happens. I mean, we gotta think about it. I mean, think about this. Think about how like people from the 50s felt once the 60s and 70s came along, or think about how people from the 80s felt once the 90s and 2000s came along.
I know, and you know what's it's hilarious too? You know what the last movie I ever saw in a Walmart bargain bin was?
What?
The Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movie.
Oh my god,
The
dude.
most
I
mid
actually
movie
saw
ever.
I actually saw a YouTube poll of people saying which one's better, the 1990 movie or the 2014 movie, and everyone said the 2014 movie on the poll, on the YouTube poll. That movie is so mid.
It's people
There's
that
nothing
haven't
to
seen
say
the
about it.
original. It's just people that haven't seen it. It's those Gen Zers that haven't seen it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Gen Alpha actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say Gen Alpha, but yeah. Oh, speaking of Ninja Turtles, that's one thing I want to mention real quick. Now, growing up, I was a big Ninja Turtles fan, and still till this day, I'll say this very briefly because we've already made a whole Ninja Turtles episode, but yeah, I will still say till this day we can both agree that Ninja Turtles 1990 is still
It's
the
still the best.
best Ninja
Like
Turtles
Mutant
movie.
Mayhem is fun and all that, but 1990 is still the best Ninja Turtles movie.
Yeah, yeah. If you guys want to hear our full opinion on that, just go watch the Ninja Turtles
It's
episode.
one of
We're
the
not going
first
to say it here.
episodes we did. So
Oh yeah, definitely. And also, speaking of brief things to talk about, this is also a very nostalgic movie to me, Godzilla '98, because this is the movie that got me into Godzilla. And Godzilla is, it's definitely like one of my favorite movie franchises of all time. And like I said, growing up, lots of people thought I was kind of weird for liking Godzilla because this was before Godzilla 2014 came along. But yeah, lots of people kind of thought I was weird for it because at the end of the day, it was like basically people in suits fighting each other. But I thought it was unique as a kid.
I
Even my
did too.
parents thought it was kind of weird,
I mean,
but
I
I
was
thought it was
also
cool.
into I have the movie all of them on Blu-ray, but I don't have them with me right now. But Indiana Jones was also like a big nostalgic movie for me
Oh yeah,
because this is like it was the two George Lucas franchises. It was Indiana Jones and Star Wars. I was an Indiana guy, and to this day, kids my age, not even like Gen Alpha, but Gen Zers don't even really know who Indiana is. I remember when I went to go see Dial of
crazy.
Destiny in theaters last year, I was the only young one in the theater. Everyone in the theater was like maybe 40 or above.
Yeah, that's crazy. I thought people our age would like Indiana Jones.
No, I remember I was sitting right next to like this guy. He was probably like in his 60s or something. He's like, "Kid, how old are you?" And it's like, at the time I was 18. I was like, "I'm 18." He's like, "Have you seen all these movies at your age?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I've watched these movies." Like, "Wow, I'm kind of surprised a kid at your age has seen all these movies." And I'm like, "Yeah." And I remember I had a conversation with friend one time. I had like a hat on, like here actually I have the hat with me on my desk real quick. I was wearing this hat as a joke, and I had like a whip, and I was like, "Hey, who am I?" It's like, "What are you?" It's like, "I'm Indiana Jones," and they're like, "Who's Indiana Jones?" And I'm like, "Yike."
Yeah, I guess. Do you think that's gonna end up becoming like a forgotten
No,
franchise?
I don't think it'll become a forgotten franchise, but I think it's gonna become like a niche franchise, like not ones that like our generation really talks about. Cause it's weird, cause if you talk
Yeah,
to Gen X people like my parents, they love Indiana Jones. That's like one of their favorite movies. So it's so
yeah, but
weird.
that's weird. Like people from our generation know all about Star Wars, but they don't know about like Indiana
Yeah,
Jones.
even though Harrison Ford is in Star Wars and he's Indiana Jones too, it's weird. I guess
That's
maybe they're
weird.
not
Yeah.
into like war movies, like movies about World War II or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say they're just war movies. They're adventure
They're
movies as
adventure
well.
movies that somehow, tied into World War II.
Now, I will say this about Star Wars real quick. I mean, we're not going to talk about it because I mean, what can we really say about Star Wars hasn't already been said. Now,
Yeah.
Star Wars, I'm not really a huge Star Wars fan, but everybody in my family loves Star Wars, you
Yeah.
know.
I love Star
Um
Wars, only the original trilogy though. I don't like any ones after
yeah.
that. But keep going.
Yeah, yeah, the original trilogy, I've seen it and I think it's really good. You know, it's definitely like one of the best film series out there. You know, I like Star Wars, but I consider myself just more of a
Casual.
fucking so yeah, just more of a casual fan. I'm not like a huge Star Wars fan. I'm just more casual, honestly. But still, they're great movies. I don't want any like Star Wars fans coming after me trying to fucking kill me or
Kill
whatever.
me.
You know, like yeah, there's people like okay, Star Wars is good, but there's just some like crazy fans out there that would kill people over Star Wars because like have you heard
Star
about
Wars
like
fans, when they find out I don't like Baby Yoda, they're just gonna come to my house and shoot me
yeah.
or something.
Yeah, yeah, but I remember I saw this one clip when Star Wars The Force Awakens came out, which was episode 7, right?
Yeah,
Episode
7.
7. Yeah, episode 7. I remember some dude has flash on and people were like, "Put your turn your fucking phone off, bitch." Like those Star Wars fans they're
Holy
crazy.
shit.
I remember one time my dad went to like a Star Wars like opening, like when The Force Awakens opened. My mom was like, "Be careful cuz there's fights over there." You know?
No, I remember this wasn't The Force Awakens. Like we weren't even. This is when our parents were still teenagers. When The Empire Strikes Back came out back in 1980. Spoiler, I guess, for a 40-year-old movie. But you know, Darth Vader says to Luke, "I'm your father," right? I remember I read a news article from 1980 about that. Apparently, some guy came out of the theater and yelled out, "Darth Vader is Luke's father." He got his shit knocked loose in the theater. Like people started going up to him, beating the shit out of him. It's like
Oh my
even in 1980. That's why every time, like like the whole phrase, like spoiler alert and all that.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
say it started from The Empire Strikes Back when Vader, because people would go up and say, "Guys, Vader's Luke's father." They would they mauled the shit out of that dude.
Oh
They
my
beat his
fucking god.
ass.
Also,
And all.
speaking of Indiana Jones, I forgot I actually do have a poster of it right there.
Oh, nice,
Yeah, I got the
nice.
original Raiders poster. But anyway, yeah, no, that dude got his shit knocked loose for spoiling Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, dude, but yeah, those Star Wars fans, they can get crazy.
They
Yeah.
can get crazy. It's kind of crazy how many nostalgic movies I can just think of. I mean, there's a lot we already talked about. I mean, I could already go on about Rocky, but we did a whole video on the review of that whole franchise.
Nostalgic movie I was gonna bring up real quick. Now, I actually watched this recently. I think it was last year when I watched this. E.T. This is also a nostalgic movie for
Classic. I
me.
remember watching that. That
Yeah.
was like my mom's favorite Spielberg movie. I love E.T.
Yeah, yeah. I actually watched E.T. last year, and honestly, I don't like it as much as I did when I was a kid. I remember seeing this movie for the first time on the Hub network. Do you remember the
I
Hub?
do. I
Uh,
think the first time
yeah.
I watched it, it was like on Nickelodeon. Funny enough, they were like premiering like I think they were like it was like the last day before summer, the last day of summer or something. They were like playing the SpongeBob movie, and they played E.T. for some reason. I don't know why.
I think it may have been like the 30th anniversary of E.T. That could be the
Because
reason.
this was 2012, and it came out in 1982, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
now
so
I
big
remember
anniversary.
when I first saw this movie on TV on the Hub network, you know. I remember when I saw it, it made me just so upset, you know, when E.T. gets like abandoned and also the scene where he's like dying, that upset me as a kid. This was the first movie that actually made me fucking sad.
I would have
But
to watch it,
yeah,
but how come you
yeah.
didn't like it as much?
Well, I don't know. It's just watching it again, I mean, when I was a kid, I thought this was like a magical and very like thrilling movie. But now, I don't know. It's just I don't really love it as much as I did when I was a kid. I mean, it's a good movie, but I don't know. I just don't really love it as much. You know?
I think one factor could be it's definitely like one of Spielberg's more safer movies, because when you compare it to like
Yeah.
movies like Raiders of the Lost Ark or Jaws or heck even Jurassic Park, like those are way more like grounded like action movies or just thrillers. E.T. is definitely more like a kids movie. It definitely is like more fun.
Yeah, definitely. Despite some like depressing scenes, but yeah, it's definitely more of a fun movie.
It was my
Yeah.
first Spielberg movie, actually, though. Actually, was it my first Spielberg? Yeah, it was my first Spielberg movie. It was that or Jurassic Park, I want to say.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Also, I remember right before this movie premiered on the Hub Network, like me and my mom, we did something really fun. We decided, you see, at the time, this was in the late 2000s, early 2010s when we moved to our like current city. I'm not going to say where because I don't want to dox myself, but yeah, this was around the time we
Small
moved to
town.
like our new yeah to yeah we moved to small town. We'll call it that.
Moved
Yeah,
to small
because
town.
we used to live in Charleston, but then we moved to small town, and yeah, we and then we were living in my grandma's trailer for a while, and my grandma she lived like all the way out in the middle of nowhere. We did it so my so that way my dad could be closer to his job. But I don't know why the fuck I'm explaining all this. But anyways, right before this movie premiered, I remember me and my mom did something really fun. We got like Reese's Pieces. You know how in the movie, like the kid would set out like Reese's Pieces for ET to eat.
Yeah.
That's what me and my mom did. We got some Reese's Pieces and we actually just put it on the ground because we thought it was kind of fun. Like she was like, "Hey Matthew, ET is gonna come to us if we put all this shit
You
down."
know
And
what's
I thought, "Hey,
hilarious?
that was
That
really
movie
fun."
actually made Reese's Pieces skyrocket in sales because of that fucking movie.
Uh,
That's how like Reese's Pieces, like so many people
awesome.
bought them because of that movie.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, whenever I think of this movie, I just think back to that time when I watched it on the Hub Network for the first time. Me and my mom, would watch it together,
I like
and
it.
that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing I love about talking about like these old movies or watching them again. It kind of brings back those old like childhood memories, kind of.
This is a more recent movie, but it's one I'm really nostalgic for. Is like the Goosebumps movie in like 2015. I
Oh,
remember seeing
yeah.
that in the theater and just having a blast with that movie. Because at the time I was like 10 years old. I was a huge Goosebumps fan. So just seeing
Oh,
that in
yeah. I
theater was so much
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, I didn't see that till a little later. I wasn't really that interested in the movie. I think I saw it for the first time on I think I bought it on YouTube like a year later in 2016. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good movie, but I was more of a fan of the original Goosebumps show. And yeah, Goosebumps is very nostalgic to me. We talked about in the horror movie episode, how Goosebumps was kind of like training ourselves for like real horror.
Horror.
Another really nostalgic movies I want to talk about real quick with you. Now these are movies that I actually like remember being advertised on TV, and those movies are the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies. Those movies are so
I saw
nostalgic.
Dog Days in theaters back in 2012. I freaking loved it, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Now, I never saw any of the movies in theaters because, like, during the time, our local movie theater was closed down, so we either just pirated it or just bought it on DVD. But I remember the first time I saw Diary of a Wimpy Kid one, and I laughed my ass off. It was
I
such a
did too.
funny
But
movie.
like
Also,
the first
Roger
one is all
Rules was
right. The
awesome.
second one is my favorite with Roderick and all that. I love Roderick was my favorite character. I love Roderick.
I had all the movies on DVD back in the 2010s. I still do have the movies. They're still a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
Roger
parents
Rules is
actually
a
loved
good
them
one.
surprisingly. Like my mom would watch them and she was like, "Oh my gosh, this is fun." My dad though on the other hand, like he would talk about like how much he loves like Rally and all that, which I do like
Oh
Rally.
yeah. Yeah, honestly, okay, there's this one scene in the book and the movie that never made sense to me, even as a kid. Like, you remember when Rowley broke his hand? Well, not his hand, but his arm, and all the
Arm.
girls were like just flocking to him, being like, "Oh, Rowley, can I sign your cast?" And Greg's brilliant idea was like, "Hey, I'm the one who broke his hand." Why the fuck would you say
Why the
that?
fuck would you say that? It's like,
Dude, Greg, you're a fucking
and
dumbass. Why
even
would
as a kid, I was like, Greg is a douchebag.
Greg is a fucking dumbass. As a kid, I did not relate with
I
Greg.
did
Well,
not
okay,
like Greg.
maybe.
I liked
Yeah.
Rally as a kid though.
Okay, maybe in some ways I can sort of relate with Greg, but still, Greg. Like, here's the thing. Here's like a big meme that's been going around. As a kid, you kind of sympathize with Greg somewhat, but as an adult, you're like, yeah, Rally makes more sense. And
Yeah.
also,
It's
even to this day, this movie is still iconic because not too long ago, me and my girlfriend were at like one of those small venue rock concerts, and as we were walking out, and this is like a college area, yeah, and it was also October, so lots of kids were like, well, not kids, young adults were like dressing up in costumes. As we were walking out, we saw some dude wearing a T-shirt that says Roderick rules, and I saw him. I was like, "Yo, Roderick fucking rules!" And it was awesome,
It's such a
And he was like,
Gen Z,
"Yeah, he
like,
rules."
unlike these movies that were kind of like in a bridge between millennial and Gen Z, Wimpy Kid is full on Gen Z now. Like every because
Yeah.
it's such early 2010s movies. I love them.
Do you remember that? You remember the second movie they tried making a YouTube video,
Oh yeah,
and
and they got like
Rally's just
4
like,
views or something.
yeah, Rally's just like, wake up in the
In the
morning
morning,
feeling
feeling
like
like
P.
P
Diddy.
Diddy.
And I'm
Okay,
like, yo,
not no. He didn't have the baby
dude, we
oil.
made
He didn't have
another.
the baby
Dude,
oil though.
oh no, another P Diddy reference. Remember Rally just sat on the fucking like, what
Spike
was that
ball.
thing, man? Yeah, yeah, I actually made that as a kid because I thought it was funny. Like the spike
Did you
ball, just
sit
put
on
some.
it?
No, I didn't sit on it. No, I just thought it would be fun to make it.
That's bad.
Rally,
No, my favorite one
Rally
is I like Dog Days a lot though too. Dog Days is great.
I still love the scene where like Greg like he's scared to jump off the what do you call that thing? The divers.
Oh, the
What the
diver
fuck?
and his like swimsuit comes off and all that.
Yeah, yeah. I remember like what is that thing you call you jump off of it and go into the pool? What the fuck is that? Like
Diving board.
diving board. Yeah, yeah. I remember he was on the diving board and the girl's just like, "Are you gonna go?" And the girl's like, "You're a chicken." He's like, "No, I'm not. You're just a kid." And once he leaves and loses his fucking pants, he was just like,
Throws
"Hey."
it.
Yeah, yeah. She throws it. She's like, "Hey, I'm just a kid," and throws the fucking pants.
And then he has to like
And then
get
he
up.
just
It's like, hey, can you give me that swimsuit? And it was like a pink it was like a girl swimsuit or something he was wearing.
oh, dude, that is so embarrassing. I can't imagine how uncomfortable that actor was.
Oh, what, Zachary Gordon?
Yeah, I can't imagine how uncomfortable he was. I can't imagine how uncomfortable he was in Roderick Rules when he ran around the fucking nursing home in his underpants.
Oh yeah, actually, what's funny about that little girl that threw his swimsuit? She was actually in the second movie too. You know, like how when they're in the beginning of the second movie where they're at the roller arena and then like Greg like spills some girl's cake and stuff, and she's like, "You ruined my cake, you jerk."
Yeah.
That's the
My birthday! You jerk!
same girl actually. That was in Dog
Uh,
Days, which I thought that was
that's
kind of
great.
funny. That she's kind of like a little shit to like Greg in both movies.
Understand? You see, I'm just a little kid.
Yeah, yeah.
I love the
Yeah,
Wimpy Kid
but
movies.
okay, you want to know something that's gonna make you feel really old?
What?
Those kids who played in the Diary of Wimpy Kid movies, they're in their late 20s now.
Late 20s,
They're
early
they're
30s.
yeah, they're about to be in their early 30s. No, dude, what the fuck?
And you know
Like,
what's funny?
hold
The
on,
guy who played Roderick
hold on.
still looks the same. He has not changed.
Yeah,
Dude.
he
He
does.
is still the same. I swear. He was in Oppenheimer. He was actually in Oppenheimer, the
Oh,
guy who played
yeah.
Roderick.
Dude, I remember when I was watching Oppenheimer in the theater, I was just like, "Yo, it's Roderick,"
It's
and then I saw
Roderick.
Drake Bell. But no, not Drake Bell. Josh
Josh. It was
Peck. And I was
Josh
just
Peck.
like, "Yo, it's Josh." Yeah, not Drake Bell. No. Hold on. Let me look up how old Zachary Gordon is. He's got to be like late. Like no, the fucking movie. You piece of shit phone. Okay. Movie. Yeah. Also, do you remember like the crappy Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie?
Oh, the
Like the
long haul.
2017 one? Yeah.
Yeah, no, that movie doesn't it doesn't exist.
Oh, okay. Okay, now, okay, he's actually not that old. He's like 26. He was born the same year as my sister, 98.
That's insane, bro.
Devin Bostick, yeah, he's like 32. He looks the same.
He
does
doesn't
look
change. He's like he ages like wine.
yeah, lots of people say millennials age very well. Like they still look like teenagers, while Gen Z will age fucking hard.
No, we're gonna age fucking hard, dude.
Dude, we're gonna. I mean, look at me, dude. I already look like 30.
I'm
Honestly,
close.
you age pretty well. You still, dude. Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. I'm not trying to sound weird, but you still kind of do look like a high school student,
I
honestly.
do. I still do. Like, if it
Yeah,
wasn't for my height, it's like people would still think I was a high school student.
yeah. I just look 30 years old, and it doesn't help that I have all this shit behind me
Shit
that's
behind
older
you.
than me. That's older than me, by the way. All this shit behind me is older than me.
Older
Well, I
than
just
you.
realized, what the fuck?
But how long have this been going on? Oh, we've been actually talking for like 1 hour exactly now.
Oh, okay, one
So,
hour.
is there any
Yeah.
other movies you want to talk about before we wrap off this review?
I actually don't know. I pretty much talked about all the movies off the top of my head. I guess some other movies I could talk about. Yeah, actually, I want to talk about this real quick. Now, these aren't like officially like licensed or copyrighted movies, but I want to talk about some of the fan films I've seen growing up. Because like growing up, especially during the YouTube age, I've seen all sorts of like little fan films for like the Friday the 13th series and fan films for like just all sorts of fan films on YouTube. Fan films for Mario as well. Do you remember all those fan films that
I
were
do.
going
There was
on?
so many of them growing up.
Yeah, yeah, and that's something that that's something unique about our generation is that a lot of the content we grew up with, a lot of it was just these independent creators on YouTube doing something out of the ordinary. That's what I find really unique about our generation. Yeah, I just thought that was something we shouldn't mention, because
The
like
Fred YouTube channel.
oh yeah,
We already
oh
brought that
yeah,
up. It's so bad, it's good.
we haven't talked about the Fred movies on the show at all. I don't think we
No, yeah, we
have.
talked
Have we?
about in the So Bad It's Good. So Bad It's Good. We actually
Oh
talked
right.
about Fred
Okay.
4 or Fred 4 movie. Anyway.
Oh, wait. Oh right, we did. Did we talk about that in the show? Our Fred 4
Mm-hmm.
movie, or did we just mention it?
Just briefly
Okay.
mention it.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, the Fred movies So Bad It's Good, like we talked about in
Yeah.
that review. But dang, they were nostalgia, man. I got into WWE because of Fred too. So peace out.
Oh, because of Fred
Hey, it's.
2, and
I
we
remember
actually
I was at my job at Sonic. I was eating cheese fries, and I'm like, Fred, cheese fries, monkey
Fred.
buttless, monkey buttless.
Oh man, Fred. Yeah,
Uh,
because that was like one of the first times like an internet show was actually going
I
into
can't
the
escape Fred
mainstream.
either. Just like with other YouTubers, I can't escape. Like every review we do, we talk about Fred one way or the other. Like in So
Yeah.
Bad It's Good, we talked about Fred. Horror movie, we brought up Fred, and now this one we're bringing up Fred.
Also, did we mention the Smosh movie at all?
I didn't watch that one growing up, but from what I've
I
heard, it
I've
wasn't good.
I've seen it on Netflix back in the day. As a kid, I thought it was funny as shit, but now it's terrible.
It's
Even Ian and Anthony acknowledges that it's a bad movie.
I've never saw it, but I probably don't want to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, man. Yeah, I think we pretty much talked about everything that is nostalgic. Now, before we wrap this up, I think we should talk about Cinemore for a little bit because this is pretty much going to be the finale until we get like another
Another
idea
idea.
for yeah, yeah. So this isn't like the end. This is just kind of like the end for now, at least,
For now, like it'll be the end of like the original run, basically.
Oh yeah.
Like, if we get like another good idea or something, you guys will see in the sketch coming after this review, but the ending we're doing is, it's gonna end off things well, but it's gonna, leave the lid open if we want to do something. I have a whole update video I have planned right after this video comes out, so be on the lookout for that because I'll kind of talk about it, but just remember, I'm not gonna be the only one that you can find Cinemore content on. Go to Matthew's channel as well, because who knows, he might make a future Cinemore project in the future. Because
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
kind of want to make this series, because what I like about Cinemore so much is our characters are so unique. I mean, like I said, you have me and Matthew that are kind of just playing kind of like versions of ourselves, but then also kind of different at the same time. You have Crackhead Steve, Gary, Mike, which are just like more comical characters. Like, I don't think our characters are gonna be like only in our review series. So, like, you might even see them in other projects. I know next year Matthew has some projects that he has gonna be coming out with our characters.
Oh yeah. I have a lot of projects. Now there was an upcoming project I had planned for October, but that's been postponed until 2025. So you guys look out for that. It's gonna be a fun one.
It's
Like
gonna be a
me and
fun one.
Braylon, we had so much fun writing the script. Also, we're gonna do all sorts of different specials in 2025. So this isn't the end of Cinemore, but this is the end of the original run. You know.
It's the
So
end of
what?
Cinemore Reviews.
Yeah, what you guys will probably see in 2025 is just maybe like a few specials here and there. But if we do ever get another good idea, we'll definitely do that. But yeah, I think we pretty much talked about everything we wanted to in the show, at least for now. It's just like we don't want to do like more seasons where it's just like filler. We want to find a right like beginning, middle, and end. You know,
Right.
that's something we want to
And I think the
avoid.
way we're
Yeah.
ending off this season is a good way to like kind of like take a break from this series for a little bit. And I can't promise like if we'll come back like very soon or so. It just depends if we find a good idea for like a third season.
Yeah, and also I want to mention, well, it's pretty obvious, but we're not like YouTube like professional YouTubers or anything. YouTube is not our career.
Our
It's just
career.
something we do for
I mean,
fun.
this is
I
kind
mean,
of
of course,
something we maybe like a couple friends will watch at like if we're
yeah,
hobbying.
yeah, like yeah, because as of right now, we only have like a few hundred subs and barely any views. But we don't care because we just do this for
We
fun.
do it
You
for fun. I
know,
mean,
it's
we
all
was
for
like I'm a blue collar worker like outside of Discord and all that. So I'm like working and all that. So it's not my priority, but I love
fun.
making them still regardless.
Yeah, it's kind of like a hobby to keep us sane while we run the rat race right now. Yeah, we kind of just wanted to make a show where you can kind of have like an escape from reality because especially right now there's all sorts of shitty things going on, but this is a place you could just like come watch us and just have fun because we don't want this to be we never wanted this to be kind of like a like a professionally edited like YouTube channel. We wanted this just to be a hangout channel where you guys can just come hang out with us for a little
Yeah,
bit,
that's why we had a couple guests. I mean, we had the voice of Mike in an episode, we had the voice of Gary in an episode, and who knows, maybe if we did come out with a season 3 sometime in the future, maybe we would have like, other guests, for example. But also, honestly, I kind of want to focus on because I don't know if we'll ever have like, I mean, if we have a good idea, we'll bring back the review format. But I think as for like the specials and all that, I think we can kind of like stick to the sketches for a little bit because it seems like a lot of people love the sketches. So if we ever have a good idea for a sketch again, we'll keep you guys posted. Like I said, Matthew has one big epic special, just a sketch. I think he's wanting to make it like 40 minutes. You guys will see. I'm not gonna give too much information.
Yeah, let's not spoil it too much. But yeah, we actually had some like special guests in the sketches. Like in the I believe it was fuck, I think it was the So Bad It's Good episode. But our friend John Lee actually appeared in one of the sketches. It was the Godzilla episode, my bad. But
Yeah, he appeared as the
anyways,
news reporter.
yeah, then we got Math Dominus to voice the dinosaur, which was really
Dinosaur.
cool.
And then we obviously got
Yeah.
friends like we got my IRL friend who voiced Mike that you saw him in the reviews and the sketches. You saw Taylor who voiced Gary, which obviously was the main villain of the series.
Yeah, and they also saw my IRL friend Crystal in the sketch, which she plays as like the crappy employee of
That like smokes
Move
and
Out
all
Video.
that.
Yeah. Also, speaking of that, that take took us like that was like we had to do that scene 20 fucking times, because we kept getting it wrong,
Yeah.
We had to do it 20 times.
But as for now, I think I'm gonna end off this review so we can finish it off and go to the sketch. But I'm really glad that you guys got to watch this series because by the time this is uploaded, it's the 1 year anniversary of our Good Burger 2 review, which is kind of
Oh yeah.
hilarious that we just did that review just to have a review, and then we decide, you know what, that episode went well. How about we just make a whole sketch show based on it as
Oh
well? And it actually
yeah.
turned out pretty well.
Yeah, exactly. I would say my favorite review of season one was definitely the Ninja
That one
Turtles
was
one.
my
That was
favorite
definitely
too. Just the way we shat on TMNT 3 was just too much fun for me.
Oh yeah, it was just a lot of fun. Then TMNT3 just became a running joke in the
I
series,
mean, it basically became the villain of the series.
Yeah, it became the villain of the series, yeah. But yeah, as of right now, honestly, I think my favorite one, you know what? I don't know what my favorite season of Cinemore season 2 is right now because we haven't wrapped it up yet, so I'm not gonna say it yet,
Yeah.
But
yeah, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys the final sketch for now. Is there anything else you want to say, Matthew, before I have them move on to the sketch?
Well, I just want to say this. One thing I want to say about doing this show, doing this show was definitely a breath of fresh air because ever since 2019, I just didn't really know what to do with my YouTube channel or YouTube career because I've been like on a really bad burnout for years, and I just really wanted to do something new. I didn't really want to do like what everyone else was doing on YouTube. But then once we came up with the idea for the show, I actually started having fun again, because that's why I liked making videos, just to have fun. So I'm really
Exactly.
glad I got
It's
to
the
do this
most fun I
project.
had on YouTube because, back then I would just make whatever was popular, live gameplay,
Yeah.
gaming videos and all. It's like, you know what? Well, how about I just make a full-on sketch video with Matt? And the idea really came just because we had a discussion on why we prefer physical media over streaming services, and that basically
Yeah.
became the whole show.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I even showed some of my IRL friends the show, and a lot of them agreed to be in the video. Like the first time you see Crack It Steve in person, that was one of my IRL friends.
And you'll actually see it, but I have some blank DVD-R disc in there. I'm actually planning on exporting some of them into a physical copy of just the sketches alone. So it'll be like over an hour worth of season one, season two sketches. So if you guys are interested, I might export that. I might even add some special features in it, maybe just for some fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hey, maybe we can do like maybe a commentary on the all the sketches we made.
I kind of want to
Yeah.
do that. I definitely will try to bump out, some special features. Maybe have some bloopers because I actually do have some outtakes still with me, and I can just put that on the DVD.
All right. Yeah, but anyways, this is the end for now.
Now,
The
and
end
we'll
of
see
Cinemore.
when we're back with an idea. But be on the subscribe to Matt's channel because we have side projects based on this series coming soon.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're gonna have all sorts of things. Like we recently did like a movie commentary for Night of the Living Dead, and yeah. So I mean, we're still gonna be doing all sorts of stuff. But like we said, as for the show, if we come up with an idea, you'll see another season of Cinemore.
Yep. But until then, we will see you guys soon. Here's to
All right.
next year.
See ya.
I did it! I finally did it! Dana! I finally did it. I graduated high school.
You did?
Yeah, I finally graduated.
About
Remember how
damn
you were
time.
telling me my report card was too bad and I'm not gonna graduate? Well, I did. Yeah,
About damn time.
I went to buy the convenience store and got us a few things.
So what made you graduate? Because I thought you were pretty bad in some subjects.
Well, I decided, you know what? Even though I don't plan on going to college, let me catch my breath. I actually want to prove you wrong and complete my education.
As I was saying, I have to go to California next week.
Really?
Yeah, I got a job there.
Hmm.
Technically a job interview, but I think I can have it.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna work at my dad's video store.
Yeah. The only issue is I hope they pay me good, because up there, you gotta be rich.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to hear something funny? This kid I know in class named Braylon, he got banned from my video store. And at lunch, he was telling everyone about how, he's gonna start like a movie theater here. Like,
Oh,
bro,
goodness.
this town is so fucking small. I highly doubt there's gonna be a movie theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck with California. I'm gonna
Yeah,
head back to the store.
But you sure you want to work there forever, though?
I mean, come on, I love that job.
I mean, like, is that the only place you want to work at?
Look, I'm a simple man, I want to work at a video store.
Okay,
It's
because
a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun because you get to talk to people, you get to recommend movies. I love doing it.
Well, they say that if you enjoy your job, that's better than money. So. But yeah, I'll see you around.
Yeah, too. Well, this is the last of it. Oh. No. No. Hey, babe.
You packing up, hon?
Yeah, I'm about
I
done.
know it's really hard, Matt. I know that place meant a lot to you.
Look, I just don't know what to do after this. I've been so dedicated to this place all my life, and babe, this is just all I know now.
That's not true, hon. Look around you. Look at all the other stuff you have. Besides DVDs and VHS tapes. Maybe you could start off a thrift store.
Wow, that's actually not a bad idea, but I gotta sell this place soon. I don't even know where to open up another shop.
Well, my uncle who runs a tattoo parlor is moving his location to a bigger city and has his current location up for lease. Maybe if we save up enough money after move-out closes, you could purchase his current location from him.
Well, I guess there's hope after all.
I say we wait until we can actually purchase the location and make it a surprise to everyone.
Okay, that's a good idea. But, yeah, I'm gonna call Braylon right now and just let him know I'm gonna be closing the store after this weekend. But, hey, thanks for being supportive through all this. Thank you. Alright, well, I'm gonna head out. Bye, babe. Alright, let me call Braylon.
Why is everyone ignoring physical media? Come on, guys, this is what we use. I'm about to give up. I can't do this anymore. I want to try to keep this store open, but everyone keeps ignoring me. I think it's time I'm about to... Okay. Thank you for calling Cinemore Theater. This is Braylon. How can I help you?
Hey, Braylon, what's up?
Oh, hey, Matthew. I've been stressed all week, dude. It's like, I've been trying to promote Move Out Video at the theater and all that to see if I can get any customers coming in, but I don't know if I can do it any much longer, dude. It's just that, like, I keep trying to promote it and all that, but it seems like nothing is working. But I just really want to keep this open because I know how much you love your store.
Hey, man, you don't have to anymore, but thanks. You've been a great help.
I just want to make sure because I promised you I would find a way.
Braylon, it's okay. I haven't told you this yet, but I packed up everything in the store, and it's gonna be closed by the end of this weekend.
Matt, this is your livelihood. This is your store. You love this job. You love this place.
I love this place too, Braylon, but I've accepted the fact that not everything lasts forever. Which can be sad, but hey, when something ends, something new begins. You can keep those DVDs as a reminder of our time we spent across the street from each other.
I understand, Matthew. But I just want to tell you, thank you, man. Thank you for helping me open things up again. Like, think outside the box when I was so stubborn because all this time I was hating on physical media and all this old school stuff because of things that happened before. But it wasn't the media's fault. It was just my own personal stuff that I didn't give it a chance, you know? But I just want to say thank you because you opened me up too much to physical media, man, and just all this old school stuff. And I genuinely hope whatever you do next, you make it worth it, man. And if you need anything, just give me a call, okay? Because I will drive over to wherever you are. Alright, man. I'm gonna let you go for now. I gotta finish these premieres, but I'm gonna talk to you later, okay? We'll see you soon, man.
Alright, man, well, goodbye for now. Alright, got a new stack of NES games and Blu-rays. So let me put this on the shelves for the customers. I still need to get some more vinyls, so who could this be? Move Out Retro, this is Matthew, how may I help you?
Hey Matt, how's it going, man? It's been a while since I've talked to you. How's the new thrift store coming along?
Yeah, man. The thrift store has been doing super well. With the holidays coming around, we're getting more and more customers, and we've only been open for about 3 months now, so it's crazy. Yeah, so I'm so glad this happened.
That's awesome, bro. Yeah, the holidays have been pretty crazy over here too. I just want to let you know though, thanks for lending me those 2 copies of Home Alone on DVD. Tonight we're actually doing a double feature. We're going to be playing both Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2 because if it doesn't have Macaulay Culkin in it, nobody watches that garbage. But no, man, thank you for lending me these, and we're going to be actually showing them tonight.
Hey man, you know, if you're not busy around New Year's, do you want to like hang out or something? We can watch a movie.
I am so down, bro. I'm actually going to be closing the theater on New Year's Eve, so if you want to come on over and just hang out for a little bit and spend some New Year's together, let's do it, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for 2025.
But alright, Matt, well actually I need to clean up Theater 2 because that's where we're going to be playing the first Home Alone movie. So I'm going to head out for now, but you just let me know and I'll see you back on New Year's Eve, alright?
Alright, see ya. Okay, let me stock some more shelves.
Alright, Mike, let's get the theater started.
Okay, let's display some Christmas movies. Alright. Hello?
Hey, Matthew.
Crackhead Steve? Is that you?
Yeah, I'm not Crackhead Steve anymore. That old me, I've been sober and crime-free for half a year now.
Wow, that's great! Well, I'm very proud of you, man. Yeah, it's not easy to get sober. So, yeah, I'm proud of you, man. Well, just take a look around, you know, and if you need help with anything, just let me know.
Hey, Matthew, where's all your adult movies?
Oh, yeah, since the video store closed, we decided to, you know, be a little tamer, so we don't have any adult videos here, so sorry about that. But, yeah, man, we still got plenty of...
You don't have porn anymore?
Steve, calm down, please. Steve, don't throw that, Steve! You've been sober...
I want my Asian
Steve,
scat porn!
Jesus.
I'm gonna pee on you!
Steve! Steve, Steve, stop! Stop it, Steve! You bastard, Steve! I'm calling the police! Jake, I'm telling you, he's a crackhead again. You need to come down here to Move Out Retro and arrest him. I told you my address. It's 631 Larson Street, small town. Just come down here and... Yeah, but he came in here when I told him we didn't have any porn. He literally pissed on me. I had to cut my hair because I couldn't get the smell out. Jake, come on. I have cameras here, okay? I could show you the footage and... Hey, Jake, I'll call you right back, okay?
Help, I'm a turtle and I can't get up.